it's my honor to introduce the best player to wear number 21, our 21st head football coach, the legendary Deion Coach Prime Sanders.
These are tears that you don't understand the prayers that has been made. These are tears that has accompanied me through this journey. These are tears of satisfaction, Mr. President. These are tears of joy, passion. These are tears that just establish how proud I am to stand before my people. I said to stand before my people. I never read nothing. I usually come right off my cap, but it's a couple things that I wanted to truly establish. I believe that God led me here, not man. I'm gonna say that real slow. I believe that God led me here, not man, because man didn't believe that I was coming. W.C. Gordon, Jackie Slater, Lynn Barney, Robert Bazile, Eddie Payton, late Walter Payton, Jimmy Smith, and Houston Hoover, who drove me to every game, established a tradition here that I believe that we can reestablish. I believe the men that I sat and looked into their eyes on a Zoom call yesterday can win SWAC championships. I believe the sonic boom is the best thing since peanut butter and jelly. I believe that our commitment to excellence academically can continue. I believe that our student enrollment can increase. I believe that the crime in this community could cease. I believe that these young men that we're raising is going to be pillars in the community, not only professional football players, but professionals. I believe that the coaching staff that we assembled that has a cumulative of 84 years of professional playing and coaching experience together combined can teach, reach, educate, inform, and can lead these kids to excellence. I'm foolish enough to believe. Do you believe? I believe that a stadium that gets 30,000, which is wonderful for HBCUs, but it holds 60,000. I believe that we can fill it. I love the way you tailgate. I love the tradition, but I believe that you go now get your butt in the stadium and watch this. I believe that all the people that you know with a child that has a D1 potential or a Power 5 potential that can now choose Jackson State. I believe that our coaching staff is going to go into every hood, every barbershop, every soul food joint, every nook and cranny, every grandmother's house to recruit these dogs, because we have 99 players that has been drafted into the NFL, but I believe up under my watch, we're gonna have 100. I believe that some wonderful things is gonna happen if we unite together, because I believe in unity. I believe in every person sitting up on the stage. They wouldn't be on the stage if they didn't have that intangible, that it, that je ne sais quoi, that thing that separates them from the rest. And I believe with your help, with your assistance, that we could be a pillar of all HBCUs. See, I'm foolish enough to believe that. Do you believe? We're looking for players that are fast, smart, tough, and disciplined. Not only on the field, but in the classroom. Not only in the classroom, but at the home. Not only at the home, but in the community. And I believe that we can do that. We have coaches that are competent. We have coaches that are committed. We have coaches that will challenge. We have coaches that are just awesome men that cannot wait for this opportunity, because some of them are sacrificing because, you know why? Because they believe. Now, if I could believe that, can you match me? Can you help me? I'm not talking about just the talk, just the rhetoric that we oftentimes have. I'm talking about really help me, because I can't do this by myself. I need each and every one of you without a shadow of a doubt. I don't care if it's 3rd and 5 and we down by 6 at our 20. You got to believe that we gonna march down that field. You got to believe that we can do the unthinkable. You got to believe that we can accomplish the unattainable. You got to believe it. If you don't believe, you ain't got no business in here. Everybody on this roster, all you kids that are on this team, on this roster, if you don't believe that you can make it into the NFL, you at the wrong school, because we need some dogs that truly believe. Now, do you believe? When we recruit these kids, you got to play a role. You got to let them know the peace and the serenity that is provided in this wonderful city. You got to let them know how kind and loving and kind-hearted we are. Ever since I got off the plane, ever since I came a few weeks ago, everything about this city is phenomenal. You're one of the best kept secrets, but I don't know if you believe what you have. You got to believe. You got to make the most out of any situation you put into. You got to make the best of whatever it is. Everybody receives the same amount of time in a day. It's up to you what you do within that day, and you got to believe that you can make a difference, because that's the only darn reason I'm here, because I believe we will never settle for mediocrity ever again. And I'm foolish enough to believe. If you believe, say, I believe. President, we're going to increase enrollment. Ashley, this program is going to be so prominent that it's going to assist every other program in this university. All the other sports head coaches, persons associated, I'm here for you. If you got a dog that you need me to help you recruit, you best believe I'm here for you. Because I don't know if you know, but we're family now. When I was getting this suit made several weeks ago, I told him I just don't want the patch on the outside. I want you to have the inside too. Oh, because I'm just not JSU on the outside, I'm JSU. I had to put my marketing hat on. That was for the media, y'all. We're gonna give these kids exposure. We're gonna put a light on these kids. We're gonna allow them to shine. But you gotta understand that same light that causes you to shine is that same light can also show you blemishes. So I hope y'all ready. I hope you're prepared. And I hope you're able. Because I have a commitment to excellence in each and everything I do. And I did not leave my 100 acres and a mule to come here for no bull jump. We gonna win. We gonna look good while we win. We gonna have a good time, Sonic Boom, while we win. And we gonna do this professionally. But I believe this is going to be a marriage made in heaven. And I cannot wait to get started. Do you believe? I'm going to ask you one last time. Do you believe?
There you go, family. Deion Sanders. head football coach for Jackson State University, and we got a professor from JSU with us today, Prince Duren. How you doing today, Prince?
Oh, PA, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
You didn't
Man,
ask him, PA. You didn't ask him, do he believe?
I'm sure he believed.
Do
I
you
know
believe
he
Prince
believed.
Duren?
And sitting in that audience, man, I was at the press conference. Sitting in that audience, it was just he brought you in. I mean, it's something that compared it to being in Obama's presence, how their words just gravitate and pull you in. He's electrifying.
Wow. Tell me about the atmosphere right now at Jackson State.
Oh, PA, it's on cloud nine. I mean, we haven't had this excitement in a very, very long time. The magnitude of this hiring is beyond sports. And Coach Prime alluded to that in the fact that, he has such a gravitational pull in which people are going to tune in Jackson State University's on national news. ESPN is talking about them. Fox Sport is talking about them. Twitter is trending on Twitter. So it is one of those things where you don't often get that type of exposure at a black school, especially when it's something this positive.
Right. Chauncey Williams says he gave a sermon. Did it feel like a sermon?
Oh yeah. The only thing they didn't do was pass that plate around. Coach Prime, he doesn't shy away from his religion. He's a devout Christian, and he speaks about God, emphatically. So you were going to get that. Even if you had Ray Lewis up there, those types of guys walk with some type of pulpit demeanor to them.
Right. Now, what we didn't show is that the band actually marched in, right? The marching band.
Oh man, it was. He came in presidential style. They had a police escort inside of a gym.
And like an escalator or something, right? Like an escalator.
Yeah. They had the state troopers. Then they had a squad car that led them into a gym. Not outside, around into the gymnasium, and I was just floored. I said, "Oh, times have changed."
Did anybody see this coming?
You know what, PA? Yes and no. So one of the things that the president said in his opening remarks is that this was the worst kept secret. It was rumored some time ago, but nothing had been confirmed. The university was denying it. Coach Prime wasn't confirming anything. But there were a lot of reports coming out. And so we were tapering our expectations because we didn't want to get our hopes up and then, the anvil gets dropped down and, it doesn't happen. But then it started picking up steam and more people started talking about it. And then we start seeing pictures of the president and the athletic director hanging out with Deion Sanders. I don't think they would get advice on the coaching. So it was one of those things where it's kind of like you remember, the presents being out on the Christmas tree the night before, and you can't sleep, and so you just sit in your bed waiting for the morning to come just to run downstairs to open the presents. That's how we were. We was just waiting on the official announcement.
Wow. And yesterday was the official announcement. Now, there's already rumors circulating that Terrell Owens and Warren Sapp might be coming into Jackson State. Have you heard that?
So I've been asking around about that. I went back and put my reporter hat on. Nothing has been confirmed. Even Coach Prime denied it. And one of the things that you have to deny things like this because there are certain things behind the scene. For example, with this particular deal, I'm pretty sure you all know this. Jackson State and Coach Prime were with two different parallel companies. Jackson State was with Nike and Coach Prime was with Under Armour. So before we can make this official, we have to resolve these types of obligations. So it could be some things behind the scenes that need to get worked out. But the people I've talked to and I've reached out to, there's nothing to confirm that Warren Sapp or Terrell Owens will be on this staff. Although if that were to happen, if you think we're on cloud nine now, Oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Right, right. Now, a lot of great people have came out of the SWAC conference, right? I think Jerry Rice came up out of there.
Jerry Rice, Michael Strahan, of course Walter Payton, Robert Brazile came from Jackson State. You know, the SWAC of HBCUs have about 29 or 30 football Hall of Famers. So, you know, prior to integration, your black schools produced the NFL talent. You know, it wasn't until integration that black students, black athletes were allowed to go to predominantly white institutions, and that ushered in what you see now with these different universities. But prior to then, all of your best athletes that were African American came from black schools.
Okay. Now, and I think FAMU just joined the SWAC conference.
FAMU and Bethune-Cookman have joined the SWAC conference. So they've kind of created like a super black football conference. And so this is great times. You know, we talked a few months ago, and I told you that things feel different. This was before anything with Deion Sanders. You know, we were talking about, you know, just the social injustice, but things just feel different now. And one of the things that I mentioned earlier about this impact can be felt off the field is that Deion Sanders carries a lot of cachet. And because of that, you know, he has NFL contacts. So if I'm a, you know, big time recruit, you know, I may not need to go to Ole Miss or Mississippi State. You know, NFL teams will know about Deion Sanders, and you can get a combine here where I can show off my talent. So his impact is going to be felt beyond the gridiron. It's going to be felt off the field as well, because people are going to invest in Jackson State just to sit around and hear Deion talk about the Super Bowl, or just to hear him talk about playing in the NFL. There are people at major conferences that are part of the coaches club that just want to sit around and listen to the coach talk. And they donate thousands of dollars into a program just to sit back and just be at your feet and listen to these particular stories. And Coach Prime is never one to shy away from a conversation.
Right. It's not only is it going to impact the SWAC conference, it's going to impact HBCU overall.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was a bold move, PA. This isn't a move that black schools do. Okay. For a number of reasons, because of the lack of exposure, but most importantly, the lack of resources.
Right.
But to get someone of his caliber to come to Jackson, Mississippi, we're not talking about a major city. We're talking about in the belly of the South. You know, to get him to come here to a struggling program, to a program that hasn't won the SWAC, I think, in about 7 years.
Okay.
For him to choose to come here, you know, it's going to say a lot. And not to mention, you know, you and Rob know this young lady by the name of Tracy Edmonds.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they are together, and just her connections with entertainment and with the media, that's going to usher in some, because, you know, she came down with him, and I can only imagine the things that she's going to do while he's working here.
Wow. Did her and Babyface have any kids?
I think so. I want to say they have at least one or two.
I mean, Babyface might be coming to town and check on his kids. Wow, man, I am so proud for HBCUs, man. That was a win for all these black colleges, as you know, as a professor at HBCU, who educate our kids at a high rate. They graduate at a higher rate when they go to HBCUs, and so I'm glad to see that. And what was it like, man, to be in that room Monday morning, man?
Man, you know what? We were sitting on pins and needles, and it wasn't until he walked in the room and he walked into the building and got out of the Escalade that we officially felt that this was going to happen. You know, and then, you know, he has a son who verbally committed to Florida Atlantic. So, I mean, not sure if he's going to decommit, but it's something to keep an eye on, you know, but this is a big deal. I mean, you cannot underestimate what this means for black colleges. And you're seeing a change. We talked a few months ago about the young man who was a 5-star athlete who chose to go to Howard for basketball. And you're seeing people like Chris Paul during the NBA playoffs, he was wearing, black college gear, shoes and shirts. And then Steph Curry just invested in the golf program at Howard. So athletes are starting to pay attention to these black schools, even though they've never attended.
Right.
They understand their relevance and their importance. And that's, Deion Sanders doesn't have really an affiliation with an HBCU, but he understands their relevance. He understands their importance. And I attribute to the current climate in which, being black and being unapologetically black is important.
Wow. Prince Duren, Professor Prince Duren, Jackson State University. Anything, Big Rob, before we go?
When he stated, not only is he going to bring the good, the bad is going to be shined also. I couldn't see the audience, and I can only imagine what those players were thinking. What are your thoughts on that? Even though he brings the spotlight and it's good, it's also going to nitpick everything that the players do. How do you think you guys can handle that?
And when you bring in someone as high profile as Deion Sanders, they're gonna be a bigger spotlight. But at the same time, it's a spotlight that's never been shown on this university to this degree. And can you imagine being a father or a mother or grandmother, and Deion Sanders is sitting in your living room telling you how he's gonna make a better man out of your young man? And you have to be at a certain age to remember when he was actually a player. But the thing is, he has remained relevant since his playing days, and that's the importance.
Wow. Man, before we go, how are things in the classroom there at Jackson State? Are y'all doing in classroom sessions now?
It's different, PA. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very different. My particular classes, I teach 5 classes, and 3 of them are virtual, much like we are now. I have my specialty classes. They are face to face, but the room is big enough, and it's only like 5 or 6 in the classroom. Wow. And being in the performing arts is very different to do that via Zoom or being virtual, and so that's very difficult. But we are making great strides. We've come to adapt to how things are currently presented before us, and we're actually doing well considering.
Wow. My good friend Kim Murphy in New York just made a comment to sports talking about Deion Sanders, and of course he played football and baseball.
Yeah, he played for the Yankees and the Braves. Yeah, people forget. A lot of people think about Bo Jackson as a 2-sport athlete, but Deion would play with the Falcons on a Sunday and then make the game, 2 days later in New York. Tom Joyner called himself the fly jock, because he would fly back and forth, to do his radio show. But Deion was definitely flying back and forth. He appeared in a playoff game, I think, in Atlanta, as well as the World Series in the same year.
That's crazy, man. And I never really think about how much effort that took on him to do all that.
It was.
Because I can imagine how big the playbook is in football. I don't know what it's like in baseball, man, but remembering all them plays, and he played defense and offense in football.
Yes, yes. And you got to remember, in the 90s, it was crazy in Atlanta in the 90s.
Yeah. Wow. Man, I almost ready, Rob. I was ready to go back to school, man.
I'm telling you. Hey,
Prince, I'd be so live.
What did it mean when he opened up his jacket and he said, "I had the tailor had to put it in the inside too"? What was meant by that? I didn't.
Oh yeah, he worked on that last night. He worked on that insert last night. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm about to hit him with this. I'm about to have the Jackson stay on the outside, and I got Jackson stay on the inside." He used that double metaphor. He worked on that one last night. That one off the cusp. You got you a nice outfit you just bought, and you lay it out on the bed and just look at it. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get him with this one."
Well, before we go, Prince, we're proud of you, man. Once again, let people know your position at Jackson State University.
I'm the artistic director in the Department of Theater here at Jackson State. So all the productions and plays that you see, they are, along with the rest of the faculty and staff, we put that together. We're actually filming right now to do our first play of the season. And as we always say, the show must go on. So we didn't want to, keep the students from experiencing the arts because of a pandemic. And so we want to, give them an opportunity to still showcase their gifts and their talents. And so we're actually, once we get off here, I sound design the performance, the play that we're doing. And so we're working on that. We're filming yesterday, today, and tomorrow to usher in our 58th season. And so we still have to do what we have to do in spite of, because we owe our students an opportunity to showcase their talents, to showcase their gifts. And so we try to find a way so that they're able to do that, because a lot of schools aren't. They just say, you know what, we're just going to pack it in, and we refuse to do that here.
Prince Duren here from Jackson State University. Now, you did some things out east too, right?
Yeah, I did a residency at the University of Massachusetts this past spring, in which I was in charge of their Word Festival. And this is a festival in which they solicit scripts from the 5 different colleges there in Massachusetts. So it was a great experience. And unfortunately, the pandemic occurred that cut my stay short, but it was just amazing just to be around those different young artists, PA. And I was just so pleased at the work that they were able to create.
Wow. Hey, shout out to Ken Murph, man. Thank you for the compliment. I see 3 kings on my screen. All righty.
Oh, Ken, I'm only here because of the 2 men that's on this screen with me.
Man, and I'm so proud of you. God knows.
Very proud.
I knew that you really didn't need our help, because you had some foundation there, man. And we can use you as an example of what mentoring does and investing into our kids and our youth. I had no problem driving to Midway in the wintertime for you, brother.
Most definitely, kid, man. I tell people, man, what the beat did for me as a kid who knew that he wanted to do something in broadcasting and wanted to be and to entertain people. And just, you and I had never met. It's about relationships. Tony Mack had told you about me because we were attending the same church.
Right.
And you just, gave me a radio show without even knowing what I could do. And it really solidified my place. And when I started doing your show, and I remember Rosie saying, Paul, don't let anybody do his show. And it was just one of those things where, man, this was everything. And I see all the work that you all are doing with the kids and taking them to Africa, man. This is just a testament to the work ethic and the persistence that you, Rob, and everybody at the beat are doing. You've come a long way from being in that 2-room studio.
Hot up in there too. No windows and air conditioning wasn't working.
Hey, PA, I was just, I tell my students, I say, I used to DJ. They're like, what? I say, yes. I used to DJ. I used to be on the radio. I said, every concert that came to Muskegon, I got free tickets. I said, I got to meet LL, Vivian Green, Jagged Edge, everybody that came. It was just, I said, I had the royal treatment working for 103.7 The Beat.
There you go, man. And you set it out, and you open up the door for other youth to come behind you. So we know we trust you, man. And you didn't let us down. We got to roll, man. Make that pitch for Jackson State, man. Why should these kids put Jackson State on their radar? Thanks, Kim Murph. Yeah.
Hey, Jackson State is doing some major things, man. We are taking this academic and athletic world by storm. You can look us up at jsu.ms.edu. Come on, and what we do at Jackson State, we challenge minds and we change lives.
There you go, family. Wow, it's been a beautiful week. It's been a beautiful week. Prince, man, we shall talk again as we get. We got to talk about election next time, because y'all got that senator down there's up. That's things up for election.
Cindy Hyde Smith.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
all
she's
right,
going.
Take care, man. Peace and blessings to you. Take care.
Yeah.